Oh, just give her, eh? You don't say. It's a beauty day to be out and about. This right here is why I'm proud to be a Canuck. You know, I'm third generation Canadian, eh? But like most Canadians, I got my European roots. I'm a bit of a mixed bag, a real mutt. But I'm not alone in this boot. Most Canadians are a blend of breeds. Speaking of mixed bag, on this week's episode of You Don't Say, we hit the streets and the streams to talk to people about Canadian culture. Oh, come on now. Turn, you damn thing. It won't turn.
So what do you think separates Canada from the rest of the Western world? I mean, besides geography, what makes Canadians unique or different than, say, the US or the UK?
I think that the country was founded on the idea of there's enough for everybody, and that there was never any conquests when the frontiers, so to speak, were being opened up, and there was always the invitation and inclusion of people, of cultures, to come and try, right? Give us your best, or bring your ideas, and there's enough room, there's enough resources, and there's enough space, right, for all things, but you just be committed to it, and we'll see if it works here.
I think that Canadians are just proud to be Canadian, and I think we just kind of stick together, and if somebody wants to be one of us, they're welcome, and if they don't have to be. We don't make people be anything that they don't want to be. We just allow everybody to be who they are.
Look at us. Number one, we probably have the nicest looking women ever.
All right, she nailed it. We are a bunch of beauts. But we're more than just a country of cute Canadians. At least I hope so. Maybe I better check in with the expert before I come off sounding like a complete hoser. Is it salmon season or trout season?
There's various things that define us as Canadians. I think Trudeau said the just society. I think that's something that Canada is known for. I believe we're the country that in the world that most people would like to live in. There's open spaces here. There's a culture of valuing agricultural and recreational, environmental issues. Other cultures maybe focus on using those resources in a way that's not as sustainable as here.
Canada is outdoors, really. We have one of the biggest land masses with the smallest population in the world, right? And to be Canadian is to just enjoy this amazing creation.
I have to say our job opportunities, because we have so many out here. We have the forestry, we have the arts and media and stuff like that. And a lot of places don't have that.
Probably our insignificance. We're like forgotten, Oh, Canada, yeah, like we just, part of the G8, but barely, that kind of stuff, right? Sort of the forgotten guy at the table, No one really knows Stephen Harper globally, right? But, I like that. We're sort of forgotten, and I think we're doing well.
I think that we're very generous people, because when we have other countries coming into this country, I think we're open to their beliefs and their cultures and their way of dress. I hope nobody gives anybody a hard time. I would like to think that we don't. That's the part that I love the best. I'm always so enthralled that somebody picks Canada. Of all the places in the world to go, they pick Canada, and I want to know right away, why did you pick us?
I think Canadian culture is really about a country that has very fair values and presents to the world one of the places people would like to live because of values that we hold as a society and the kind of laws, the kind of progressive laws that we have in this country, the kind of multicultural official policies, and in fact policies of toleration that people have to one another in this country.
Excuse me there, sir. Sorry to bother you, but do you have 2 loonies for a toonie by chance? No? Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Okay. The old curtsy shop. Well, there you go. You don't say. The old curiosity shop. Oh, yeah. One of the great things about Canada is the fact that you can experience multiple cultures without having to get in your boot and cross the Atlantic or the Pacific, whichever way you're going. Like right now. I'm enjoying a nice cup of tea and a scone like a right proper Brit. But if you don't fancy the UK, why not try India, eh? Up next on You Don't Say, we visit the Shandar Hut for an authentic Indo-Canadian meal. But right now I'm gonna have one of these little sandwiches. You don't say.
Canada is known around the world for its vast variety of cultures. Our country was founded on a number of nationalities, making Canadian citizens naturally diverse. Here in Chilliwack, one of these many cultures is India, and if you're looking for a taste of its exotic cuisine, you can find it at the Shandar Hut.
My dad moved here when he was 16 years old, my mom when she was 17, and for a long time they were just labor workers. My dad was working in the mill. He ended up being there for about 28 years of his life. But he was in the sawmill, and for a long time it was just his dream to open up a restaurant.
Shandar Hut, which is now going on its 10th year, has become one of the most popular restaurants in Chilliwack. And the most amazing thing about it? It's 100% family run.
I think that is one of the main reasons we are a successful business. We want to hold true to what we have been doing from the beginning, and that is making quality food from my mom's perspective, right? She feels like she's feeding her extended family, and that is the people that come in, our patrons. But yeah, my grandmother helps, my cousins. One is Fraser, the other one is Cal. My mother, she's on the naan breads, and my cousin Cal, he's on the dishes. My other cousin Tasvir, she's on the appetizers. I mainly manage the front.
From naan bread to butter chicken, one can indulge in a number of Indian flavors.
Not gonna lie, we generally have a big pot of butter chicken just ready to go because we know it's gonna be the one that's gonna go. Butter chicken is just what put us on the map. There's also a lot of tandoori dishes that we do. So it's a clay oven mainly that burns at about 475 degrees Celsius. And it's so hot in there that my mother is actually able just to stick a raw piece of naan bread right against the wall, and it'll bake there for about 4 minutes. So it's a really cool piece of engineering. We have hand-rolled samosas here, which is really interesting. The different seasonings that we have to put in, and just the process of making the dough and the filling at the same time, and then rolling them into that triangular shape. I never knew how to do it before. I do now.
Aside from the fact that Chilliwack is a predominantly Caucasian city, Gord claims he's never once felt out of place.
I never had any problems being an East Indian in Chilliwack. We did recently have that incident where our restaurant was targeted with a racist email, but we had such a positive, response from the community, just great outpouring. They had a cash mob here, and we generally open at 11. We ended up having people lining up at our doors at 10:30, so we had to open earlier. And we generally close at 9, but we had to close at 8:30 because we ran out of food.
Even though Gord surrounds himself with Indian cuisine on a daily basis, he considers himself to be a proud Canadian.
If you could have dinner with any Canadian celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
Celebrity? I don't know if I know a Canadian
Okay, like Celine Dion or James Cameron, Terry Fox, a prime minister, anybody. Brian Adams.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know half those people. A Canadian celebrity? Gee.
Or what Canadian celebrity are you most proud of?
I like Michael Bublé.
I was listening to Classified the other day and I thought he's pretty cool. He represents Canada a lot in his songs, and yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of proud of that. I'm proud to be Canadian, you know. Well, you sound, when you say you sound Canadian, don't you know?
I'm a big Colin James fan, so there you go.
James, all right, I'm feeling that.
I think I would have dinner with Terry Fox, only because I think he's an amazing individual. He was an amazing human being. He did so much for Canada and for cancer, and I just think he's amazing.
John Chrétien is your answer?
No.
Oh.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky?
I think I would choose Seth Rogen.
Canada has a kind of unique sense of humor as well. We seem to export a lot of comedians to the rest of the world that appear in media, and I think we're known for satire.
Whew, holy, it's colder than a brass toilet seat in the Yukon. Time for me to get inside and warm up with my double-double and some poutine.
Ooh, what am I missing over there? Come on now. What kind of call was that? That's not a penalty. Oh, this is going to be so good. Now, the great thing about Canada is its people. Canadians are like, well, they're kind of like these Timbits here. What an assortment. You got your chocolate, you got your sour cream, even the plain ones are sweet in their own way. But the one thing we all have in common is our love of the good old hockey game. Now, I don't mean to be rude, and if it's not too much trouble, it's not too much of a bother, I kind of want to get back to the game here. What? What'd I miss?